Now, in IELTS Writing Task-01, they give you a diagram for which you're supposed to describe it so far within 150 words and in the given time, like 20 minutes approximately. Now, within that, and that is equal to three bands, right? This diagram. It can be having in different forms, different structures. Let me show you, and then we discuss one by one. Any of the diagram, one diagram or two diagrams will be given to you, and you will be asked to describe it in 150 words. Now, diagram descriptions are very easy, right? Very easy comparatively to essay writing, because here the whole scenario, the picture will be in front of you. You will be only supposed to describe it, right? So that's not difficult.
Right. So that's not.
Can you mute your mics? Yeah, there are three steps which we will study so far, and it will become easy for you, convenient, like then you can describe any of the diagram after also going through some of the samples. Sorry for the inconvenience. I would search again the notes regarding this form I shared in the past. Two of the varieties of these notes related to description of chart, and further I would do share some more if I got it. Anyhow, and description of chart, each diagram contains different information. Let's suppose there is pie chart. Pie chart means this one, the first one, right? This one. Now, if there is pie chart given to you, so your focus will be more on percentage. That shows the percentage, like different sections. Here you can see different section, and these different sections actually here it indicates like how much each the thing that is used so far, and the each portion how much percentage it is describing so far. We have to concern with that, right? Now, so the percentage of different things will be shown, and then we have to describe it and how we are going to discuss it. Then we have bar chart. Bar chart describes uh, what how much something has been used. Here you can see how something has changed over the days, weeks, months, or years, or how something has been used in the different time period, right? Or how something has been created, or how something has changed over the day, week, month, year, right? So in different these things you will see in that bar chart. Right. Next, we have line graph. Like these are actually six varieties of diagram. From that, one kind of diagram will be given to you, or two diagrams will be given to you. Now, a line graph, which we call x-axis and y-axis, actually that shows the ups and down, ups and down, ups and down, like something that is risen, something that is declined so far. We will study in this regarding that, right? So this thing will be discussed, observed so far in line graph, that what has been increased the usage and what has declined. Then we have table diagram. In table we will see how the people, or how something in the free activity, free times, yeah, let's take the people, how the people spend their time on different works in their free time, right? So a kind of like different things, how much they are used or how they have been utilized in their spare time or in spare scenario, right? So overall the sections will be discussed how much, the answer for how much. Then we have process diagram. In process diagram, one thing will be manufactured, made so far, right? Something will be prepared, like in bakery something cake, or in like milk will be manufactured so far, or anything else. Then we have map diagram. In map diagram, you see map, like simple same like Google Map. But at here, there will be two or three directions, two or three maps, right? One, two, three. And there will be a little difference. A little difference means like, yeah, in map number one might be there is one building missing. In map two, that will be included. In map three, another building will be included, right? So a kind of differences, a kind of change will be shown to you in map diagram, right? So overall, this was just regarding definition. Now, how to describe it? If that is line graph, firstly, we are going through line graph. Here is the vocabulary for line graph we can use for different directions. If the line is inclining, rising up, So we can use these words, the following, like to rise, to increase, to grow, to surge, to go up, to recur, to escalating, to pick up, these words we can use so far for the line graph. If that is downward movement, like declining, in line graph, the line is declining, like moving downward. So we can use this word to fall, to decrease, to drop, this is right. And if that is in the horizontal position, so we can go for these words: stabilize, maintain, keep, even out, flatten out, right? And if that is in the fluctuation position, fluctuation means when line is down, like when line is declining, when line is coming down, and then again it's going upward. For that time, we can call it fluctuation, vary up and down, right? So these are different position. Again, it's shown to you in the diagram, where for each position we can use different words. Moderate increase, like slowly, slowly, slowly. And if fast increase, rapid. If the line is decline, then incline, then decline. This is for this we say, this rapid change we say fluctuation, which I used earlier, right? And then moderate decline, and then again rapid decline or dramatic decline, right? And this is constant or horizontal position, right? So constant. Now these words should be remembered actually by you, that which word we can use at different position. These were just vocabulary of line graph. Now time comes to how to describe it. In each diagram, we have a simple strategy. Like in essay, you are having a strategy of introduction, then body one, two, and conclusion. In description of chart, you have a strategy of 3 paragraphs. In those 3 paragraphs, number one is called introduction, intro. Number two is called overview. Number three is called comparison. Enough. Within both all of these together, you have to count. You have to complete round about 150 words, 170 words. Now, coming on introduction, how to write it. We have to compare the diagram, given diagram, with the question. It will both together makes an introduction with us, right? It's very easy, very easy. Now, if we discuss pure the diagrams, you will understand it. Like how can we make an introduction paragraph for any diagram that will be given or assigned to us, right? For example, the question, yeah, we have to do two things for writing introduction of any diagram. Either there's line graph, either there's bar chart, either there's other pie chart, either there's table graph, either there's a process diagram, either there's map, right? Whatever diagram will be given to you, we will have a simple strategy, introduction, for introduction, right? And that is like, now for instance, we are going through the line graph. Sorry. Now in line graph, we have, for introduction, we have to do two things. The question that will be given to us, we have to change, we have to change some words. We have to synonymize it, right? We have to use paraphrasing technique. Like in introduction essay, we use their paraphrasing technique. Here same goes for it, to use the different words in your introduction, and also compare the diagram with this introduction, right? Both together will make an introduction, right? Like what does it mean comparing the diagram? To also use these side words, the words, the information from the diagram, and so for the names, right? And then also adding with this question statement by using some own words. This will make the introduction. Now we make it very easy. The graph below shows the consumption of 3 spreads from 1981 to 2007. First, you have to understand what does it mean. This diagram, this is a question, right? This diagram, what does it show? It shows the consumption. Consumption, you know the meaning. Usage, istimal, right? Consumption of what? Of 3 spreads. 1, 2, 3. Got it? When? 1981 to 2007. And what are those 3 spreads? The names are also given. Blue one is margarine, green one is butter, and the another one is, sorry, and the another one is low fat, right? Low fat and reduced fat. Now, um, we have to combine these two information together and it will it will make an introduction. Now, for example, the graph below shows, we can say the line graph below, the line graph below, you can see the line graph below illustrates, or the line graph below depicts, or the line graph below explains, or the line graph below defines, right? Different words you can use, yeah, for the word show. Now, this word is synonymous, illustrates. Next, the consumption of three spreads. We can say the utilization of three spread, or the amount of three kinds of spreads. This is how to make an introduction by changing some words, and it's very easy, right? The easy words, those you face again and again and again and again. In IELTS, actually in IELTS, each module, there is a specific vocabulary. Using specific vocabulary, you have to understand and you have to try your best to how to change it. Now, the consumption of three spreads. Okay, what are the names of those three spreads? We have to take from diagram: margarine, low fat, butter. See, the consumption at the amount of three spreads: margarine, low fat, and butter, right? Now you close the bracket and write further. From 1981 to 2007, how much is that? It's round about 26 years, right? Now you can say which were consumed, which were used, consumed over 26 years. You count it from 1981 to 2007. And you also mentioned it from 1981 to 2007, right? And then at the end, units are measured in grams. And from where you got this information? From here, the side of the diagram, right? So this is how you have to do any of the introduction, right? Further, the next introduction when we read, you will understand it 100%, right? If here is any problem. But this is the way of and very easy style to paraphrase the information, the question, and also to to also combine some point or something from the diagram. When we both together write it like that, diagram information plus question in own words, it becomes an introduction, right? Next is called overview. In simple words, what is overview? Introduction is known to you, paraphrase, and some information. Overview means a short summary, overall information, a short summary, like what this diagram is showing us. Now, in this diagram, whatever is shown in overview, we have to focus on something. What? We have to focus on the highest, the peak line, and the lowest line. That at the beginning, what is at the top level, and then at the end, what is at the top level, right? So this thing we have to only mention in overview. We have to not having any concern with how much. The answer for how much it is more inclined, how much it is declined, how much it is at the top, how much it is at the bottom. This thing will be discussed in next paragraph. We have to here mention only in the second overview summary, only the thing, the information that which line is more higher at the beginning and which line is more higher at the end. At the end means like at the beginning is 1981, then 1986, then 1991, then 1996, 2007. So at the beginning, these two are highest. These two, the first two. But then these two come down, and that means the usage of these two are declining, decreasing, right? While the usage of the brown line that shows low fat and reduced spread, this is increased, right? At the end, it is a slightly decreased, but overall from beginning position, that is at the 10, now it has increased till approximately 70, right? So we have to show this thing. Now see, first we will discuss this, then we will discuss this in the overview summary, but we will discuss how much, no, sorry, which one is at the peak and low. We will not discuss how much ki baat nahi karni. Now see overall, you can start overall. The consumption of this line, margarine, the consumption of blue and butter, green one, butter and margarine, blue and green one. The consumption of these two lines and butter decrease over the period of time. Decrease means like they come downstairs. right? While for low fat, where is low fat? Low fat is this one, the brown one. While for low fat, what has happened at the and reduced spread, it rose. Low fat and this one, which is also called reduced spread, it rose. Rose is the second form of rise. That means inclined, increased, right? Going upward, right? Rose. So, as I told you, स्टार्ट में कौन सा लाइन ऊपर हाईएस्ट पोजीशन पे था और आखिर में एंड में कौन सा लाइन, तो हम ये भी लिखेंगे कि स्टार्ट में ये पोजीशन ऊपर में था और फिर एंड में ये डाउन में आ गया, राइट. एट द स्टार्ट द पीरियड बटर वाज द मोस्ट पॉपुलर स्प्रेड. बटर ये ग्रीन दिस वन. बट व्हाट हैपेंड व्हिच वाज रिप्लेस्ड बाय मार्जराइन. ब्लू मार्जराइन लाइन ने इसको रिप्लेस किया. कब? 1991 में. From 1991 to 2001 इस सिचुएशन, इस कंडीशन, इस पोजीशन में इसने रिप्लेस किया. अब ब्लू ऊपर गया, ग्रीन नीचे आया, तो ये बात यहाँ पे हुई है, राइट. Which was replaced by margarine from and following the low fat and reduced spread became the most widely used spread in the 5 years. And what this spread is used so far, this became more widened, this became more popular. ओवरव्यू में आपने तीन बातों को नोट किया. First discussion, green line is at the top in the start. It declined. Blue line is at the second position, but it inclined, then declined also. Inclined matlab increase हुआ. And what about the brown one that represent low fat? हमने definitely names लिखने. That at the top, at the bottom, at the start में, beginning में, it was at the bottom, low position, 10. But later on, it increased. It increased and and went through the good position, right? Okay. So this is overall overview. For overview, we write overall. Now, in the third paragraph, that is called comparison. Introduction, overview, and then the third one is comparison. In comparison, we compare three lines. We compare all of the information, and in comparison, how much something is inclined, how much something is declined, we talk about that. Like for example, this one is at the top in comparison, start में. This one is the second, this one is the third. Again देखें, green one को, butter को. With regards to the amount of butter use, जितना butter use हुआ है, margarine, it began at around 140. 140 से around 140 से start हुआ है, around लिखा है, डायरेक्ट स्पेसिफाई नहीं किया बिकॉज थोड़ा सा a little it is higher, so around approximately from 140, right? You can just write it. And then tick to 160 gram. कहाँ गया? 160. And then suddenly dramatically it dropped till 50, 60 or 40 gram. Okay. And I did 160 gram in 1986. 1986 में ये जो 60 gram तक पहुंच गए. After that, before falling dramatically, suddenly to about 50 grams in the last year. और last year के 2007, like last year तक, it was reduced, it was declined, it was decreased, and how much? Approximately 50, right? 50 grams तक इसके इस्तेमाल कम हो गया. Next line was that. Yes. Likewise, approximately 90 grams of margarine. Margarine 90 grams में जहाँ से start हुआ, before it declined till 80, then there was a fluctuation, right? You can see first year अवयव which then figure fluctuated slightly, means थोड़ी सी इसमें increase, up down, चढ़ा उतार चढ़ाव आए, उतार चढ़ाव, down then upward, that is called fluctuation. That is, and drop to low 40 grams. 40 grams तक जब ये आ गया, blue वाला ये 40 grams तक. So you have to mention this, right? And in 2007. अच्छा, ये third one पे ये जो low fat है, we have written a separate paragraph on this, and the reason behind that is a simple, because it is started in a separate year, in a different year. ये दोनों जो है 1981 में स्टार्ट हुए. तो अब इस ब्राउन को आप सात पैराग्राफ में इन एडिशन लिख के आप मेंशन कर सकते हैं. अदरवाइज नेक्स्ट लास्ट फोर्थ पैराग्राफ में इफ यू वांट टू मेंशन, इट हैज ओनली सिंगल रीजन, दैट इज दैट इट हैज स्टार्टेड लेट. तो लेट स्टार्ट हुआ, So late कब से 1996 it started from approximately 10, right? You can see the consumption of low fat and reduced fat only started in 1996 at about 10 gram. 20 और 0 के दरमियान 10 gram. The figure then, the figure which reached a high of just over 80 grams. 80 grams तक आ गया, and within 5 years, like 1996 to 2007, ये 5 years बन गए. And fell slightly, आखिर में slightly fall कर लेता है और तकरीबन 70 तक आ जाते हैं. Fell slightly in the final year to approximately 70 grams in 2007, right? So I hope so you would have understood something and got some idea, if I'm not wrong. If you have any confusion in this part, in this diagram, let me know. Any question, any statement, any suggestion, any comment? Yes, no? Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Good, good. Okay. Now, further for line graph and others as well. Sorry, what happened this? Yeah, for line graph and others as well. Okay, for other diagrams as well. Now we are going to bar chart, by the way, next diagram. But for all diagrams, before when you do at the beginning level, first you have to read the sample, right? One sample, two sample, three sample, then write it down at the beginning level. And later on, you have to read the sample like we read, and thoroughly we went like how we have to write so far. And after reading and then writing and then reading and then writing and then reading and then writing, for 3 4 diagrams you have to read and write from two sources which I share. Other sources are these Cambridge books. At the end you can see the answer, right? Like in this academic one, here in this academic as Cambridge books, from book 11 to 19. If you see any diagram in academic, and at the end there is a description. So the description is only for the purpose to understand and get an idea how can I write so far, right? By following the structure. Now, coming towards bar chart, again, same style of writing. Introduction, overview, comparison. Compare introduction में क्या है? The diagram plus question in own words. Overview में क्या है? The summary, but only to mention how much something is more, something is less. And comparison में क्या है? How much something is increased and how much something is used, right? The percentage, the total thing which we will mention so far, right? This thing. Okay, coming towards the introduction of this, yeah, first we have to look out for the question and oral statement, the diagram. The question is, the graph below shows the different modes of transport. Different modes of transport, 1 2 3 4, used to travel to and from work in one European city, right? In one European city, there is a different 4 sources of transport. In 1950, 1970, 1990, as we studied in at the beginning of the lecture, that graph will show how much something has been used in different time spans, right? So in 1950, 1970, 1990, a little bit matching with the line graph, right? So the dark one representing 1990, the light one 1970, and the white one 1990. Food usage in 1950 was 35%. In 1970 it was 10%. And in this in 1990 it is approximately, yeah, sorry, this is 10%, and within 15 and 20, for this we will write round about 15%, right? Round about 15% figure. Okay, so this is how much something has been used. Now first we will write an introduction, and you can see the answer by looking at the question and the diagram. Here is our answer. Yeah, from by making from this. The graph shows the percentage of traveler, and here the graph below shows the different modes of transport. We wrote the percentage of travelers used to travel to and from work in a European city. And we wrote travelers in a European city who use bus, car, bike. Now there are no names in the question. What I told you, दैट डायग्राम से भी आपने कुछ लेना है। जिस तरह ये हाईलाइट किया है ना आपके लिए कि ये वाला पार्ट जिसमें परसेंटेज है, ये वाला पार्ट जिसमें नेम्स है, और ये वाला पार्ट के कौन से ईयर्स मेंशन है, राइट, वो हमने कॉपी करके यहाँ पे डायग्राम में, सॉरी इंट्रोडक्शन में वी हैव टू पुट दैट। नाउ travel and from the European city. And what we wrote, we use bus, car, bike, and foot to commute to and from work in this year 90, in the years 1950, 1970, and 1990, right? So we have to write the introduction again in the same style. And then these are some of the points you can study by your own later on if you want to take a screen from this side. Okay, now in the comparison, first we talk about car. Then we talk about, in addition, I will write comparatively to bike usage, right? Direct in the same line, in the same paragraph, because this is only one sentence from a paragraph. And that is like, how can we write in the comparison or, sorry, overview. Overview. In overview, we will write the usage of car is at the peak, but in the start, first we have to look for the start, 1950. Yeah. The usage of the consumption of food, the traveling based on food is at the peak, or it has at the top position comparatively to all other modes of transport, and that is equal to 35. But in overview, we will directly mention that which one is at the top position. At the end, it declined, and it was in the use around about this in 1990. We will write it that yeah, it was in the second number next to, or it was the usage of food was next to the usage of bike, right? Or the bike usage, both will be right. Then this will be the overview for food. Then overview for the remaining part will be in the same style. Like in addition, if we talk about the next is after that, we can see the peak position of bike. Bike in overview, we will then mention the bike, and then we will mention yes, this part, bus, and then letter this part, right? Overview, what is at the top? Start में क्या चीज टॉप पे, एंड देन एंड में क्या चीज टॉप पे। इस्तेमाल, उसका इस्तेमाल, किस चीज का इस्तेमाल ज्यादा हो रहा है और किस चीज का इस्तेमाल कम हो रहा है, जस्ट दिस विल बी इन द ओवरव्यू। देन कंपैरिजन में कितना ज्यादा है और कितना कम है, कंपैरिजन में कितना, और ओवरव्यू में जो समरी है कौन सी चीज ज्यादा इस्तेमाल हो रही है। सो दिस इज द ओनली डिफरेंट, राइट? नाउ इन कंपैरिजन, first we talk about car. Car का इस्तेमाल in the initial year 1950 it is round about 5%. Then it became you can see here 25%, and then at the end it's approximately till the mid, so it is equal to approximately 40%, right? Now let's see car. The amount of people using car grew considerably. You can say grew with the passage of time, right? Considerably or with the passage of time, both are right. Rising or increasing, both are right. Increasing from just over 5%, 5% से increase कितना हुआ है to 25% in 1970 from 1950. अब ये mention करेंगे. In 1952, 25% in 1970. 1970 तक ये increase आ गए, और and then क्या हुआ? In 1990, it inclined to 40%, or we can write, and then climbing to almost 40% by 1990. दोनों स्टाइल से लिख देना सही है, राइट? सो दिस इज एक्चुअली कंपैरिजन, एंड देन इन द कंपैरिजन सेकंड स्टेप, सेकंड कौन सा है? सेकंड हमारे पास है बस, व्हीकल्स में कार और बस, फिर बाइक एंड फुट। सी यस, yes, now see the amount of people using buses, first kitne, approximately 20 you can mention, right? Here I think it is not mentioned. The amount of people using buses initially rose in 1972 to about 30% in 1970, to about 30%, 25 say 30%, sorry, 20 say 30% तक इसका इस्तेमाल बढ़ चुका है. You can write it down that from 20% in 1950 to about 30% in 1970. जिस तरह हमने कार का डिस्क्राइब किया इसी तरह इसका भी. And then but had dropped, लेकिन ड्रॉप हुआ यहां से लास्ट ईयर में, ड्रॉप इसके इस्तेमाल में आई, एंड दैट वाज अप्रोक्सीमेटली 15 फिगर भी लिख सकते हैं, 20 फिगर भी लिख सकते हैं, इसके दरमियान वाला 17 फिगर भी लिख सकते हैं. You have to write about मतलब approximately, तकरीबन, round about, approximately, about. These words you have to mention like when the figure is not clearly shown, like how much, right? So this is how you have to mention so far, like this. Okay, this diagram you have to study by yourself. You can take a screenshot for this bar chart, right? Because the whole overall introduction is mentioned from this question. Comparing it with this, this is very easy. Then overview, then comparison, and comparison is in the two paragraphs. You can write comparison in one paragraph, little lengthier, by matching and looking at the paragraph, right? The structure overall also fine. And if you write two paragraph, also fine, no problem, right? So both are okay. Like total, you can write three paragraph, description of paragraph, or you can write four paragraph, both are fine. The words ratio must be not less than 150 much. Okay. Now, next is a pie chart diagram. Again, the same style. Two pie charts are given. One is given, so one we have discussed. This pie chart shows this, and then overview. This is more, this is less, and then comparison. Which one is how much more? But if two diagrams are mentioned, then we will discuss about both of the diagrams, because in both diagrams they will show different things. Like sorry, they will show the same things in different percentage. Like coal, gas, other, nuclear, petroleum. Now, what is the thing? Production, energy production things. Coal 1995 में 29% is production, means like how it can be made so far, prepared. After 10 years, in 2005, it is 30% production, right? Gas ka same like this. Now, see for the introduction, the two pie charts illustrate. S मिट गया because two हो गए, so no S at here. The proportion of 5 types of energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got it? 5 we got from here. In France, in 1995, in 2005, and 2005, right? So in these 2 years, it is showing the proportion of 5 types of energy, or the production of 5 types of energy. And you can also write the names within the bracket, like which 5 kinds of energy. You will write coal, other, nuclear, petroleum, gas, and then we'll close the bracket, and it will be your complete introduction, right? Overview. In both years, the most significant is coal and gas. ये थोड़े से ज्यादा हैं, पीक हैं 30, 29, और बाकी 4, 6, 29. तो इसमें पेट्रोलियम भी लिख सकते हैं, गैस भी लिख सकते हैं एट द पीक में, राइट? Let's see what they have written. The most significant sources of energy were gas and coal. ये sources of energy क्यों थे, या sources of production energy क्यों है? Because इसका नंबर ज्यादा है. आपको ओवरव्यू में बार बार मैंने कहा ना कि ओवरव्यू में कौन सी चीज ज्यादा है और कौन सी चीज कम है, स्टार्ट में और फिर एंड में, राइट? 1995 में और फिर 2005 में. Now together accounted for over half the production of energy, while which together accounted for over half the production of energy. Like together, both together contain out of 100%, they are containing over half, right? Approximately इससे ही आपके half percentage आपके बन जाते हैं, like over half, like sorry 50% से थोड़ा ऊपर. Now next further, while nuclear and other kinds, 6 ये less है. So the least amount of energy in France. Least, second form, least, less. Second, the least amount of energy. For we use this for also for less, least amount for energy in France. In all types of energy, अब all types में क्या है? Production there was only minimal change over the 10 years period. Overall इसमें जो change है वो बहुत less है. अब कोल है तो 29 से 30, गैस है तो 29 से 30, अदर है तो 4 से 9, इसके अलावा न्यूक्लियर है तो 6 से 10, petroleum है 29 से 19. So the changes that are occurred so far in the production of energy from 1995 to 2005 is a least change, or is we can say a minimal change, or small change, or minor change, right? फिर comparison में how much आंसर करना होता है ना, how much कितना, within comparison. Like now see, into 1995 with regard to the sorry, yes, adhere this paragraph. Energy production by coal. सबसे पहले गोल क्यों कि उसकी इस्तेमाल या percentage overall ज्यादा है, राइट, कंपेरेटिवली टू गेस एंड अदर्स। सी, गेस 30 है, 30.31, ये 30.93 है। यहाँ पे 29.63 है, ये 29.80 है। तो जो टॉप पे होगा उसको कंपैरिजन में भी पहले डिस्क्राइब करेंगे, राइट, ज्यादा पोजीशन में। फॉर एग्जांपल, एनर्जी प्रोडक्शन बाय कोल कंपेयर comprised by of 29.80 in the first year, and this showed only a very slight increase, about 1% to 30% in 2005। और फिर साथ में लाइकवाइज में आप गैस का भी जिक्र कर लेंगे, कोल गैस। एंड नेक्स्ट पैराग्राफ में आप रिमेनिंग का जिक्र करेंगे, बिकॉज द रिमेनिंग्स आर हैविंग अ स्लाइट डिफरेंट, राइट, लाइक द उसमें डिफरेंस भी काफी चेंज में मींस लाइक अदर 4 से 9 आ गया है, न्यूक्लियर आपका 6 से 10 आ गया है, एंड पेट्रोलियम आपका 29 से 19 आ गया। सो दीज थ्री हैव a little difference, more different, and these two have a small, a minor different, like 1%, right? So that's why we discuss these two, and also at the peak in one paragraph, and the remaining three in another paragraph, right? So at here, this is how you have to describe the pie chart. Okay. Next is from table diagram. I request you and suggest you to take a screenshot from this part as well to read it out, and for map diagram as well, right? The same style, the same structure, the same way. In map diagram, you have to mention, if you didn't understand, we will discuss this part again, no problem. But in map, what has the change? From 1962 to 1985, and then now, what is the change you have to discuss so far in the comparison? What overall has shown, the map, the diagram, the overview, and then the question plus my map. This makes your introduction paragraph, right? So until now, if you have any confusion, any perplexion, any query, if somebody is in between two minds, you can ask. Yes. Regarding map diagram or essay writing in writing section. Yes. Further, for grammatical approach, I again remind you to look for must for minor punctuation, capitalization, subject verb agreement, noun antecedent agreement, conditional, modal verb usage, adjectives. These are the topics which are considerable in grammatical mistakes.